It begins, Jason. We are now live in the
Oh
recreational.
dear.
I don't even know what round this is. We in round 2 of the lower bracket.
We are in round 2 of the lower bracket.
This is still round 1 lower bracket game. This is SWAGHANIM'S SCEPTER.
Round 1 lower.
SWAGHANIM'S SCEPTER versus Jin and Tango. We are just about ready to go. Teams are going to start drafting any minute now. And Jason, why don't you tell me a little bit about these two teams?
Well, we've got Jin and Tango.
Indeed. Indeed.
They are a lovely group of folks.
They beat out Ace Ventura in round 1.
Indeed. Ace Ventura took a fall, and then you have the lovely folks on SWAGHANIM'S SCEPTER, who I believe took. Who did they go down to? Oh dear.
It's good we came prepared.
Yeah, super prepared, like 100%.
All of this is very indicative of our team. If you don't know who Jason Gegner and I, Mitch Dyer, am, we are both part of Regular Dangerous, also a team in the Rektreational. We're just going to get underway shortly. We're having a little bit of trouble as we get started, but both teams are going to be drafting very, very soon. SWAGHANIM'S SCEPTER, did we go into who they are?
No. SWAGHANIM'S SCEPTER, just to clarify, they went down against Pit Lord Meta in the first round of the upper bracket.
As many teams have and will continue to do based on that team's performance.
Their performance, yes, it's ridiculous. And then, yes, Ace Ventura, the team that beat Jin and Tango, they're the ones who went down to Pit Lord Meta in the second one. So these guys have a little bit of common ground as far as that goes. So that should be interesting.
So as we get into the match right now, we've got both teams drafting. We have a couple bans right now. Jin and Tango ban Invoker out of the gate, and naturally SWAGHANIM'S SCEPTER banned the Doom. The Doom, a very, very, very common ban. That Doom ultimate is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's definitely something that will, as we've seen in the prior matches of this tournament, there are many different skill levels at play here, and he is one of those characters that has kind of almost an unfair advantage of leveling the playing field for a lot of people. So I think that's a really important character to get out of the way. There are a few more for sure, but we'll see what they continue to get rid of. Yeah,
a lot of the meta right now that I'm noticing is like, I don't know, it seems like the meta seems to be banning team fights and then picking a lot of, very, very heavy push lineups. I'm very curious to see, like, I don't know what it would be like if we had to ban push characters and pick team fight characters, like just to see how that meta would shift. I don't know. That requires some pretty heavy patching, but it'd be interesting just to see how the community would react.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were expecting that this week to some extent, and still no major character changes, hero changes.
So as we continue on, please direct all of your suggestions for the stream to Jason, because he'll be the one checking in and out of the Twitch chat on twitch.tv/Rektreational. I'll be tabbed in doing all of your camera work, so any problems you have there, direct them to me. Those will be entirely my fault. Tidehunter pick for Jin and Tango as SWAGHANIM'S SCEPTER responds with a Death Prophet. Again, we have a, Jin and Tango looking to fight, SWAGHANIM'S SCEPTER looking to end early so far. And you can see that in Jin and Tango's bans too, right? I mean, we have the Phantom Lancer ban almost immediately. And they know that Studio can be kind of scary with that particular character. And the Enigma pick for SWAGHANIM'S SCEPTER allows them to continue pushing.
It's very, very scary. Like, the more push you stack on top of the Death Prophet, the more terrifying each individual element becomes. But Death Prophet's enough to be scary.
And if you have any questions about the Rektreational or would like to, get in touch with us outside of the Twitch chat, you can tweet at us at Rektreational on Twitter. It's more responsive better way for me to be more responsive, since I'm not going to tab out and check the Twitch chat because that will cause this to stream because I have no idea what I'm doing with OBS. However, we're gonna give it our all with this whole casting thing. Right now, Jin and Tango is burning through its reserve time. It's starting to chew through that a little bit at the second pick, and they pick Nature's Prophet. Jason, he's a favorite of yours.
I'm a big fan of the Prophets. They both have good utility. whether it's tower push or what have you. But yeah, he's a recent hero of mine, and I'm really starting to like that guy. That guy gets really scary if you leave him alone for a while.
Lich Band coming out for Jin and Tango. They don't. I'm surprised they didn't pick that, honestly. With the Tidehunter Lich combo is really, really great, but they must have something else in mind. A very intelligent ban for SWAGHANIM'S SCEPTER, getting Rubik out of the picture. That way, that denies Jin and Tango being able to steal the Black Hole from their Enigma, or the Exorcism from their Death Prophet, and God knows whatever else they're going to be choosing for their pretty scary lineup so far. Again, Jin and Tango with the Kunkka ban, it seems they're really not looking forward to a lot of fights, or they want to be able to suppress the ability of SWAGHANIM'S SCEPTER when it comes to team fights. They're recognizing that they are going for tower push, so they're doing their best to kind of mediate whatever Swag can take care of in a fight.
Yeah, I think we're seeing picks from both sides that are a little more, at least from what we've seen in prior games, 10 seconds. Strong either in the tournament in general or just specifically to those teams. So I would expect that to continue. We see a lot of the same bans, but again, like we were saying with Doom, it's a smart ban. To get that void out of there, lock a whole team down or a portion of a team down as a team fight starts, and I mean they're just really big plays to be made. So something like an Enigma getting through or a Tidehunter getting through, the big play, the option for that is still there.
Yeah, we're seeing these big picks because we see a Shadow Shaman ban from the SWAGHANIM'S SCEPTER side. Normally he's the first support a team would pick after the 4 usual bans of Void, Doom, Tidehunter, Lycan, those, the usual suspects of early bans in a draft. So instead we're seeing some interesting picks for, some characters we haven't actually seen played a whole lot in the Rektreational, which is actually really exciting for me, because personally, I'm getting really tired of seeing the same 10 characters in every video game when I play Dota. But we've had some really good team lineups in this whole big tournament of ours.
Yeah, it's been interesting to see. I think a lot of casters have mentioned in the past just the way that TI4 kind of influenced picks and whatnot, and just kind of coming off of that meta and how things have adjusted.
A Warlock pick for Jin and Tango is going to be really, really great for their counter push against SWAGHANIM'S SCEPTER, who picked an Ancient Apparition. He'll be good for picking characters off after, Enigma and Death Prophet deal a pretty significant amount of damage in a team fight. Centaur Warrunner getting picked for SWAGHANIM'S SCEPTER. We'll see how Jin and Tango responds. They have next pick.
A lot of Centaur, not consistently picked, but whenever he shows up, like in recent games, he just can either be this incredibly devastating force, or he just kind of hobbles along through the game, but is always a presence. He's never really just a non-factor, which I think is something that not a lot of heroes have in their arsenal.
Yeah, and I think a lot of players really underestimate the capabilities of that character, particularly in the early game. He has that damage deflection that lets you, be able to deal some damage back to people who are attacking you. That his second skill that I actually can't remember the name of, Double Edge, allows you to deal a significant amount of damage to an enemy after stunning them. So you can lock them down in place, deal a big thing of damage, and then if you can't finish them off yourself with a Blink Dagger, somebody else can come in and take that last shot from them.
Yep, yeah. He's one of those heroes that works well with a lower amount of HP, or at least is safe there.
The Ancient Apparition pick is really nice here too. I mean, he could really set up a couple great things with Death Prophet and Enigma. Cold Feet's a really great, great skill.
Especially is that if you get a Midnight Pulse down in a Black Hole, you have Ghost running around, and before the Black Hole breaks apart, you have his ult come in and start negating recovery, like it's pretty devastating, just those 3 characters alone.
Jin and Tango takes the Bloodseeker, which is a character we haven't seen played a lot in the Recreational, but it's actually a fun combination with the Nature's Prophet. Bloodseeker, that skill, what is it called here, Jason? I should learn this. Thirst lets you get true sight of an enemy below 50% health. So in theory, Bloodseeker could, with that skill, locate any enemy on the map, and then Nature's Prophet can zip right to them with his teleport, allowing for potential very easy pickoffs as enemies retreat from team fights. A spend ban from SWAGHANIM'S SCEPTER is very, very interesting. I didn't see that coming at all.
I think a Sven knocking an Enigma out of his black hole is a concern. Obviously, you've got the Warlock and Tide ultis to do that, but you know, that's just a third consistent one too, especially with if you have a bunch of people in the same area congregating around the black hole, like you could get a pretty big stun if Sven's not in there. So if nothing else for that, it makes sense.
Jin and Tango with the tiny ban, and SWAGHANIM'S SCEPTER responds with an immediate lifestealer pick. They know what they want from that particular lineup. This is a very interesting team composition. I am really excited to see how SWAGHANIM'S lets this play out. Jin and Tango, 25 seconds on its final pick before burning through its remaining reserve time.
Yeah, I think something. I think I have a little. I think we both have more experience with the Jin and Tango players. Seeing a lot of picks that I don't really. I don't really think that they play all that often. I could see, you know, Nick doing the Tide Hunter thing. Nick is Nick's, but other than that, it's a pretty different pick from them, which you know, like you were saying earlier, it's good to see.
Yeah, Jin and Tango, they typically have Nick is Nicholas running that Tide Hunter solo offlane, stacking the Ancients, doing that whole new tactic that's been making Tide, you know, a particularly interesting farmer since 6.81.
Yeah, definitely. I'm that's one of those big changes that you kind of wonder. Like, Tide is a devastating force when he gets into a team fight, but it's those changes that allow him to farm Ancients super efficiently. I don't think it's something that's been abusable in a significant way. There are just more ways to, you know, sneak into the Ancients and take them, and different things like that to negate it. So I don't think that change will be really going anywhere. And it is, I don't know, it makes that character play a lot differently, which is something I appreciate.
Absolutely. And Jin and Tango takes the Phantom Assassin for its final pick. We'll see who is going out into the lane right now. So on Jin is Nyx. On Jin and Tango, we have Nick as Nyx, as expected, on the Tide Hunter. Running mid, we have Banana as Bloodseeker. Looks like Meepo Mosa on Jin and Tango as the Warlock is going to be heading into his lane, which I don't know where he's going right now. LD50 on the Phantom Assassin for Jin and Tango, and finally the Vestman, Sean Saris, excellent recreational caster, has taken on the role of the Nature's Prophet. Jason, why don't you introduce us to SWAGHANIM'S SCEPTER?
Alrighty, so funny thing happened, my Dota crashed and I'm no longer in the game.
Oh, well, I'll take care of that for you, buddy. SWAGHANIM'S SCEPTER, Sean makes games on the Ancient Apparition, roaming through the jungle right now with Studio on Lifestealer and Chuck on the, pardon me, I forgot the character's name entirely, the Enigma. I keep wanting to call him the Black Hole because it's all, you know, it's all that really matters, because he's the greatest with that. Top lane we have Drew, and as the Centaur War Runner, Jesus Christ, and Elliptic on the Death Prophet.
Whole bunch of prophets going on.
Taking a quick anime break, says Studio. We are underway with a quick, immediate game pause. Alright, it seems like everything is okay.
Always a great way to start a game, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Well, I guess the better way to start a game is to start finding or creating a lobby and then for my Dota to crash.
Yeah, that's perfect.
I'm like a non-factor in this. So, you know, stream, just throw those questions my way.
Yeah.
I'm happy to help. I'll be here supporting Mitch and making sure he has the right graphs up at the right time. And maybe I'll get in for the second one.
That's so sad, Jason. I wanted you to be here. Wow, everyone's disconnected. What is happening? Let's find out. I'm not entirely sure what's going on, but while we poke around, let's look at the Radiant wards here in their jungle. Techies, of course. Haste rune on bottom. Doesn't seem like anybody knows that's there. I think Radiant warded that right before it popped, so I'm not entirely sure they know that's there. Otherwise, I don't see why they wouldn't have grabbed that right away. Jason, let's take a look at the most important factor for this entire tournament. That is the team's couriers.
Okay, huge deal. I need minute by minute breakdown.
Yeah, so the Radiant has the little shitty wizard donkey, and it's looking pretty good. I'm gonna, as far as early game stuff goes, that courier is exceptional. Unfortunately, the Dire side has opted for the typical donkey, which makes them unremarkable in every single way. Alright, we are underway. It looks like all the players are back in the match. No more pausing. And we are into the laning phase. Nature's Prophet down here in his Radiant, or sorry, the Enigma in the Radiant jungle. While we have the Nature's Prophet up in his jungle, taking care of all the neutral creeps there. Not a whole lot of early game action. However, we do have the two wards up here in the Dire jungle, giving both teams vision in there. Not going to be a lot of opportunities for ganking on Phantom Assassin and Warlock.
Which is, I mean, smart. It lets their, especially with the Nature's Prophet in the game and a PA, like and a Bloodseeker for that matter. I mean, that's pretty big on their end.
We missed First Blood entirely because I was busy dawdling looking at another lane. This is great, Jason, because you can't see, so this is like I'm on radio and I have to describe everything in detail as though you can't see it. So this is actually really helpful. We missed that First Blood entirely because I have no idea what I'm doing with my life. But SWAGHANIM'S SCEPTER getting a lot of early game traction in the bottom lane here. Not a whole lot of action going on in middle here early on. We've got Bloodseeker chipped away a little bit with Elliptic getting some decent harass away with the Death Prophet. Not enough to really make a Banana's life that miserable. He can pull away at any time and just use a couple of his tangos there. A little bit of heat going on here with the Centaur Warrunner. LD50 on the Phantom Assassin, giving him a little bit of trouble, forcing him back to his tower. Centaur Warrunner is he's a pretty durable guy. He can probably stick with it a little bit. Decent base damage, 64. Outdo the Phantom Assassin, but the Warlock giving him lots of problems with the harass as they push him closer and closer to his tower.
I think not.
That's one thing a Warlock is very capable of mitigating if he has enough clarity as a recovery for mana. Is just linking up a bunch of creeps, hoping that you get a few last hits from that to get some gold, and then healing yourself when need be if you are being pushed out of experience.
Death Prophet taking the high ground in mid. Bloodseeker down to about 25% health and forced out of lane, eating a Tango, and looks like Kristen Elliptic is just making his life miserable. Poor Banana can't get a whole lot there, and Lifestealer disconnects, having a lot of problems this game. Really, really unfortunate for these teams.
Yeah, that matchup. I've lived that matchup a few times, Bloodseeker and Death Prophet, and it tends to be in favor of the ranged characters, regardless. But with the right build, Death Prophet can just spam him down as long as the kill potential isn't there.
Jason, I'm going to hit you with a vital fact, and that is that Ancient Apparition has the only kill on the board at 3 minutes and 3 seconds against Nick's Tidehunter.
There it is. Just got that First Blood. Huge, huge.
Looks like Lifestealer is back in the game. Let's see what's going on here. Bottom lane. Lifestealer coming out of the jungle. They're really trying to get on Nick here and his Tidehunter in the bottom lane to keep him back and away from some farm. How are his last hits doing? He's doing not very great with 3 hits. Lifestealer, 15 last hits. Enigma with 11. Seeing some decent early game farm for the expected heroes, the junglers and the carries.
And
any questions coming in from our chat here, Jason?
Mostly
feedback.
Just suggestions that wondering if I can reconnect and suggesting we could maybe restart the match in all pick and just do a quick here. I think we're too far in at this point, but
I mean, we could just quit out of this and just do an all pick random, get some techies in here.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, okay. Just all techies, all 5 techies, all 5 mid.
Bloodseeker picks up the haste rune in the bottom river, and he's running back to mid. See if he can turn this around, make something happen here. Tidehunter in the bottom here, giving Jin a little bit more breathing room, giving Nick room to push up a little bit, keep the Lifestealer out of the jungle. Lifestealer, looks like Lifestealer and Ancient Apparition are really going to push hard to get Nick as Nick's out of lane. He's going to pull back. He can't quite get the kill thanks to that Kraken Shell. Is it Kraken Shell? Is that what Tidehunter's skill is called? It is Kraken Shell.
Yep, Kraken Shells is the one. Yeah, and they honestly need to. Like, a Tide is just about the most durable offlaner as far as survivability and whatnot. Like, if they can catch him in the Ancients, that wouldn't be terrible. But it's really, you just have to be super aggressive.
Up here in the top lane, we can see the Centaur Warrunner desperately pushing to get push Jin and Tango back up to their tower. He can't quite make it happen on his own this early in the game. He's getting pushed back across the river. He does have his Tranquil Boots, and he's trying to make something happen on the Phantom Assassin, but he can't quite make much of it as Warlock pops the healing on Phantom Assassin, the LD50. Nature's Prophet and the Enigma really making the most of their jungle time, getting lots of good farm. Enigma getting a couple decent camps with the Centaurs.
What are we looking at for items on those guys?
Right now, item-wise, we have the Enigma. He's just got his Soul Ring in his boots, and the Nature's Prophet is building toward the Midas. Lifestealer just picks up his Midas right now. Looks like we have a couple pings coming in the mid here. Let's see where this is going to take us.
Alright, and if we could pull up the last hit CS chart, please.
You got it, fella. Looks like we have Lifestealer and Nature's Prophet predictably in the lead, 34 and 30 respectively. 6 denies for, oh gosh. Big pings in the bottom river there as Bloodseeker comes in to help Nick his next in the bottom lane. Looks like they're finally trying to start to make something happen. Tidehunter not quite 6 yet, just hits 5, so he doesn't quite have the Ravage yet, but they are going to try and pop the Rupture on the Lifestealer to finish him off. Reducing his damage with that Anchor Smash. Oh gosh. They do take down the Lifestealer, but Enigma coming out of his jungle to help the Ancient Apparition respond against the Bloodseeker, who 25% health, he's going to pull back behind his Tidehunter. So they got exactly what they needed out of that fight, and Bloodseeker is going to take off. He's heading back to mid so he can respond to Death Prophet, whose Exorcism isn't quite getting her what she needs out of the tower damage. She's quickly taking down the creeps, but it's almost out. She's definitely not going to be able to take down this mid tower.
Yeah, it's a super usable skill early on, especially to put pressure on, but that first point you put into Exorcism, regardless of if you've dumped a lot into Witchcraft, it's just hard to get enough space to take a tower early on. So, any damage you can get on there is good, though.
Oh, another disconnect for the Lifestealer. Poor Studio. I believe that's Studio on the Lifestealer there. Yeah. Let's take a look at everyone's items one more time while we wait. I wonder who's got their Midas. Just Lifestealer with a level 5 Midas at 7 minutes. Sean the Vestman can't quite get there. Let's see what his gold is at right now. 1526. He's getting there. He's almost ready for that recipe. Lifestealer back. Looks like we are good to go anytime both these teams agree that it is back to partying time.
You're doing wonderfully, Mitch.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate your support in these dark times. Nick's just 6 last hits with the Tidehunter. He's getting really pushed back by the Lifestealer and the Ancient Apparition. The harass from AA is actually really great, and then Lifestealer is just so tanky early on that Tide can't really make a whole lot out of the situation alone. He's going to have to wait for Ravage. He's going to have to wait for teammates to come help him out.
Yeah, it's a hard lane for a Tide early on solo off.
Lifestealer with the open wounds immediately drains Tidehunter of everything he has, and Nick goes down. Oh, once again, the Ancient Apparition gets the kill, leaving Lifestealer with not a whole lot on its plate right now. 2 kills for each team right now. Apparently we're missing some Bloodseeker kills in the meantime. Looks like he took down an Elliptic in mid. That Death Prophet goes down. And he's pushing up against tower, doing some decent damage. Finally, he's needed that. He's got his tower punched in a little bit. We have an invisible Centaur Warrunner in mid, chasing down that Bloodseeker.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I can't tell you how confusing it is that Bloodseeker and Lifestealer in the same game, and to mix those names up in my mind and try not to say them wrong. Yeah, it's great. The Prophets, yeah, the Nature's Prophet, the Death Prophet, the Phantom Assassin. There's maybe a Templar Assassin hiding somewhere. Who even knows anymore, man? Looks like the Death Prophet and the Centaur are going to make a move on Bloodseeker. They do take him down past his tower. They take the dive, and she pops the Exorcism. This is absolutely going to be mid-tower as Enigma joins the party. They're going to probably pull back here. Not a whole lot of threats in mid, but not a lot of reason to push up. Enigma's, you know, he's grabbing his little Eidolons to make something happen here mid. Let's see what else we have going down in this lane. Nick's finally taking his Ancients with his level 3 Kraken Shell and his level 3 Anchor Smash. He's taking his Dinosaur stack and getting a ton of XP that he needs.
That'll catch him up pretty well.
Oh, and we've got an Ancient Apparition Ball flying up top. Let's see what this does. No, he just... Oh, yes, he's going to definitely hit the Warlock. Warlock's taking some serious damage from the AA. There's definitely a lot of stuff going on here up top as the... Oh, gosh. A Black Hole is down. Jin and Tango taking a massive beating from the Centaur, Warrunner, and the Enigma. Death Prophet picking him off in the meantime. Nature's Prophet pops up his trees, keeping Enigma locked down. He can't do a whole lot. Bloodseeker chasing him down, diving past his tower, taking a couple hits, and the Enigma goes down to Bloodseeker. He's taking serious damage from the towers. He needs to get out of there and get some heals on. Narrowly makes it away with 54 health in the top lane. Jin and Tango is definitely going to call that team fight a win as Swag loses 2 with Enigma and Centaur going down. Ancient Apparition sending up another ball. Definitely gets the Nature's Prophet with his ultimate all the way across the map. That was a fantastic shot, and Sean Saris goes down. The Warlock isn't going to quite explode to the ice. Mipomosa's Warlock walking back home. Everybody going back to lick their wounds.
Crispy informs me that there is a way to recreate the lobby, move it to a different server. It's like a load game feature for custom lobbies. It saves the game every few minutes automatically. So if people keep disconnecting, we can maybe look into that and get help there.
God, it is terrifying to me that we'd quit out of this lobby for any reason. Lifestealer back, he's down again. Yeah, Lifestealer disconnected one more time. They're gonna pause one more time. He keeps getting disconnected in his own jungle too. He can't catch a break while he's, you know, waiting to respawn.
Farm for him.
Yeah.
No. Seeing that coordinated that jump on the Bloodseeker past the tower and then taking the tower, really solid plays by Swag there.
Jin and Tango. Jin and Tango's making it happen.
2 minutes ago.
Yeah, Jin and Tango slowly starting to close that kill gap, doing everything it can to stay alive. This has been a pretty solid match so far, you know, disconnects aside. Looks like lots of TPs coming in up top as Jin and Tango responds to the Death Prophet and the Centaur Warrunner. Nature's Prophet and Warlock coming in through the jungle, but they're not going to be able to make anything happen as Elliptic and her Centaur Warrunner Drew escaped down past their second tower. Meanwhile on bot, and the Lifestealer on Swag pushing up really hard. They've knocked down the tier 1. They're pushing very hard against the T2. Nick is next as the Tide Hunter just can't. He just can't do anything. He's got no follow-up for his Ravage. He can get in there and try to make something happen, but he's got no items at the moment. All he can do is kind of posture and try to spook them.
Yeah, so far it seems like the Black Hole has been pretty effective in this game, and the Ravage just not so much.
The Dire team pushing very hard. Jin and Tango trying to get that tier 1 up top, and they're just having a lot of trouble, losing a lot of people here. Oh, wow, Sean Makes Games takes down 3 go down for Jin and Tango in what is a barely comprehensible team fight to me. Jesus. Wow, Radiant narrowly saving its tower. Just 158 HP left. They could not pull it off. The Bloodseeker's Rupture went down. No, he couldn't follow up. Nobody could get anything out of that. Nix is TPing top. He's the only character that can save the tower right now. And he's got the Vestment to follow up the Ravage, but Nature's Prophet takes the silence. Centaur Warrunner might go down here. He goes down. Nature's Prophet gets in that last hit. Nix walking directly into an Ancient Apparition ultimate. Bloodseeker, Phantom Assassin pushing down their top lane. Trying to push the creep wave back. Do everything they can to take down this tier 1 tower, which we've just been having so much trouble with it. They shouldn't have too much trouble going ahead, though. The Fortify on the Radiant side has definitely been used. Let's take a look at some items here, Jason. See who's got what here. Mechanism on the Enigma.
Please.
Good.
Dire's middle tower is under
Solid.
attack.
Vestment finally
I'll
has his Midas. He finally picked that up. Bracer.
Did the Enigma just stay with boots of speed, brown boots? Or does he have?
He's sticking with the boots of speed, man. He's committing to the.
That's a solid way to go. Doesn't let you get too far ahead of your Eidolons and helps you control the push a little better. Which is an especially not an especially necessary thing when they're playing a little ahead as they are, but
Radiant's bottom
Elliptic
tower is
and
solid all the time.
Chuck take down the top tower for SWAGHANIM'S Scepter. Tier 1 up top, and she's going to pop the Exorcism, the Death Prophet that is, and they're going to push back against the Bloodseeker, the Tidehunter in this top lane. Phantom Assassin just kind of sitting in the jungle waiting to make something happen with the Warlock. 4 team members up here on Jin and Tango doing everything they can to defend against a pretty aggressive trio up here on SWAGHANIM'S Scepter. Meanwhile, oh, never mind, I was going to say the Vestman doing everything he can bottom, but he is now TP'd mid and he's pushing out. He's doing Nature's Prophet things. Bouncing all over the map, doing everything he can to get that split push in order. This Ancient Apparition, Jason, is on point, smashing into Jin and Tango at every opportunity. Getting at least 2 in every ultimate I've seen so far. Bloodseeker, Phantom Assassin.
And this Ancient Apparition is played by?
This Ancient Apparition is played by Sean Makes Games.
There you go, Sean.
Sean's doing alright in that support role. I need to be bouncing around characters and checking their items. That's something I can do. Nick's really struggling with items. He's saving up for that Blink Dagger with 1,700 gold in the bank and nothing but brown boots, a little shield, and a couple of GG branches.
That's probably, I mean, as far as where he's been gold-wise and the deaths he's taken, that's probably the smarter thing to do. He needs to get online with that, because if he can get that before the Enigma gets the Blink Dagger, that would definitely help the team out.
Absolutely.
And help them maybe bring things back with the team fight or two. But
You can see in the XP graph, huge advantage for SWAGHANIM'S Scepter on the XP side of things, outdoing them fairly significantly. Same thing with the gold, massive gold influx with 10,000 advantage over Jin and Tango.
at this point, they're down 3 towers.
Yeah, I mean,
compared to none, so that's pretty huge for tower gold advantage.
yeah, Jin and Tango's bottom lane is entirely exposed. That T3 is the only thing there. Middle tower is taking a bit of damage from creeps, but Nick's going to respond in the middle there. Warlock going to join him.
4 towers.
Lots of pings on the map, but the teams are fairly separated. You can see if, you know, these guys here, the Radiant team, staying entirely separate from the jungle, just posturing in the river, trying to figure out what their opportunities are.
And they have, I mean, with Ghost, with Ghost down for a little while.
Ghosts are back up, Jason. You can bet Kristen's thinking about popping those right now. She and the Lifestealer and the Enigma, all 3. Now we have 4 with the Centaur Warrunner. They are all up here. The only one missing right now is the AA in mid. He's definitely going to be the long-range combat support with his ultimate. He's been very on point. Sean Makes Games. Definitely getting a lot of really great shots off on that. Nature's Prophet taking the tower bottom. The Vestman taking the tier 1 on bottom all alone.
Nature's Prophet things.
His team is just trying to buy him a little bit of time up top to protect their tower. He's the Vestman is all alone, but he's got nothing but room. The Lifestealer is trying to make something happen here. He's going on. Oh gosh. The Ravage goes off. The Bloodseeker goes down. The Warlock's Chaotic Offering comes down. Centaur Warrunner desperately trying to escape. Pops his ultimate that's going to allow his team to get as much mobility as possible. The Exorcism goes up, and Meepo goes down to the hand of the Death Prophet. Centaur Warrunner not down yet. 21 HP. Just he's thinking about staying. He wants to stay and hang out and damage this tower as much as he can. That's a 4-0 trade. The Nature's Prophet is the only Jin and Tango fighter left alive, down all alone on bottom. Lifestealer's TPing down there. He's going to respond, take that farm, and force Nature's Prophet to leave that lane.
And they've got an interesting combo too, because once that Enigma gets his Blink Dagger, if they get a Lifestealer bomb inside the Nyx, and then, inside the Enigma, and he pops in and starts the black hole, that's just a bunch of free damage on whoever gets caught in that black hole. If we could get a net worth switch.
We can get a net worth switch. I can get that for you, buddy. I don't know that hotkey, but we're going to hit it. It's Y for future reference. Lots of pings happening. The Phantom Assassin is going to get caught out alone in mid. Take the Ancient Apparition ultimate. She's going to get... Oh, the black hole hits her, and the Centaur Warrunner just cuts her down. Jin and Tango loses the Phantom Assassin. And SWAGHANIM'S Scepter just absolutely dominating right now. They're just full crowd control at all times. The Dire team, Jin and Tango, has tons of vision up. They have great wards everywhere. You can see them here. Got a ton of them in their own jungles to protect themselves, but it's just not enough. Something's going down here at the Ancients here on the Dire side. Bloodseeker losing a battle to the Lifestealer, and the Rupture is enough to get him out of the fight, but not enough to get the kill on the Lifestealer. Exorcism is up one more time on the bottom lane. Tidehunter just deleted. Nyx can't make anything happen there. Couldn't get a Ravage off in time. Warlock could go down here with the Exorcism chasing him down past his own tower, and he does go down. It's 2-0 trade at the moment, and SWAGHANIM'S Scepter is just assaulting the bottom tier 3. They're just annihilating here with the Exorcism, and all four, everyone except the Ancient Apparition, of course, who is just doing his own thing in mid. He's just
Ancient Apparition gets pretty able to push the later on a game goes, especially if he's got decent farm, but he's certainly no Enigma or Nature's Prophet.
All 5 of the Dire team members are just stuck in their fountain. They're not able to defend against the Rax. The bottom Raxes do go down. Sorry, the melee Rax is down, but the ranged is just, it's taken a huge amount of damage. All 5 of the Jin and Tango members are pushing down bottom, trying to get SWAGHANIM'S Scepter to back off. Everyone on SWAGHANIM'S Scepter starting to scatter, you know, get back in the lanes, maybe rotate mid and knock down this tower. Banana and Nick is next, not really sure where to go, where to be. Trying to figure out location. Maybe they'll join the Warlock in mid here as he pushes back against the Enigma and his Eidolons. He doesn't see this Centaur Warrunner just waiting to blink. 6 seconds till his Blink Dagger is down, and that's his opportunity to just eviscerate anybody on Jin and Tango that he wants to. Nature's Prophet all alone up top here. He's pushing this tower down. He desperately wants this tier 1 up top, and Jin and Tango finally takes it. Jin uses
with enough space, it's totally capable of picking these towers off, especially the earlier ones for him, but at this point, it just, you know, kind of what, without the follow-up, what is really the point.
Definitely. The tier 2 mid goes down. Ravage is going off, and oh god, the Chaotic Offering comes down. Exorcism is up. Lots and lots of skills popping off right now. Centaur Warrunner pops in there. He gets the Bloodseeker kill. And that's 2 for 1 in favor of SWAGHANIM'S Scepter. Chaotic Offering Golem goes down to the hands of Lifestealer. And the Death Prophet just taking a bunch of tower damage. He's stuck in Lifestealer's trees. Enigma, the only member of SWAGHANIM'S Scepter to go down there. Everyone else, a little bit shoot up, but healthy enough that they can definitely stick around and make something happen here. And the Shatter might happen in the Dire Fountain. Ancient Apparition gets off that last shot, that ultimate inside the Dire Fountain, and Nature's Prophet goes down. He gets the Shatter. Wow. Nick is next. This Tidehunter. He still might shatter. He might cross that threshold.
Dire's middle
Oh,
tower
he's
is
going to be
under
okay. He's going to start healing up in that fountain.
Dire's
That's got to be really irritating for the Bestman, who has no buyback right now.
Dire's middle
Ancient
barracks
Apparition
are
has
under
had his
attack.
number all game.
The Radiant team, which is SWAGHANIM'S, SCEPTER, almost entirely has buyback. Warlock on the Dire side, the only member who has enough money for the buyback. Rupture goes off. The Centaur Warrunner is just going to stop dead center here, and he's going to take a bit of a beating, but the Warlock is going to go down. Death Prophet's going to finish him off. Enigma comes in, pops this mechanism, and his team is back online entirely as they take down both mid-racks.
Dire's middle barracks is falling.
Centaur goes down, but not before the black hole gets off, and SWAGHANIM'S is going to take 2 with that. Nix is just getting hammered right now. The open wounds hits him. Bloodseeker. Lifestealer just chewing through him with the hands of Enigma and Death Prophet. And that's GG, they're calling it. That is the first win for SWAGHANIM'S SCEPTER. A 24-8 kill game at a 23-minute throne. What an incredible performance. SWAGHANIM'S SCEPTER just bringing its A game tonight. Jin and Tango has to win the next game in order to stay in the recreational.
It seems pretty close early on, so I think maybe with a little bit of reshuffling, maybe get another character or 2 in there to balance the. Well, I mean, there wasn't really a set strat there. They just played really well.
Yeah, I mean, they
So
didn't give Jin and
gonna be hard to
Tango's
see.
characters enough time to really come online. Phantom Assassin went 0-6, Warlock goes 0-5. They just didn't have a ton of opportunities to make a lot happen. We're gonna see how Jin responds in the second round. We're gonna end this stream, start a new one, so stick around. We are going to have game 2 up for you right away. Stick around.